Hey, what's going on? Julian Rosen here, head coach at Wake Up Wealthy. And in this training, I'm going to show you exactly why you should be meditating. I'm going to show you what it truly does to your brain to unlock new levels of growth, new levels of insight, new levels of clarity, and new levels of achievement. And you'll also see after this quick training why if you don't meditate, if you don't make the decision every day to create a meditation practice, that you're leaving so much limitless growth and potential on the table, but B, you're actually leaving yourself stuck in a self-fulfilling loop of limitation if you don't develop a meditation practice. And I'm also going to talk about what meditation actually is, because a lot of us have a different expectation, right? We hear the word and it drums up different images, different connotations, different meanings, right? And so we're going to demystify what it is as well, so that you can you can just dive right in to this practice and start using it to receive tangible benefits physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and unlock new potential, unlock new opportunity that is literally waiting here inside your inner technology. So the main thing that hypnosis does very, very well is it allows you to outgrow your default mode network. And now I'm going to talk about the default mode network. And I talk about it a lot because that's really where our limited conception of ourself lives. It lives in our default mode network, and it's this series of circuits in our brain, the medial prefrontal cortex, the posterior cingulate cortex, and it kind of creates like this mohawk kind of through your brain, right? And really, this is a set of neurons, a set of neural pathways that are patterned, self-centered protective identity. So literally, this is the part of your brain that is the seat of who you think you are based on past events. This is really where the conditioned mind or the ego lives. And the default mode network, its main concern is your survival, right? So it's not good, it's not bad, it's not right, it's not wrong, but it is important to understand what it does. What is its function, right? You cannot master something if you do not know its function, right? So the default mode network is here to help you not die. So what it is doing, it is always consulting the past to predict potential futures. It is literally going back and forth thinking about, what went wrong, whether consciously or unconsciously, what went wrong? Where did we feel unsafe? Where did this happen? Where did this bad thing happen? And it's constantly weighing and scanning your environment and your future for potential threats, right? It is focused on future threats, right? So it's very worrisome, and it's focused on problems. And here's the thing, it's reactive. It's reactive and it's scattered and it has a negative bias. This is very important, right? It has a negative bias simply because for hundreds and thousands of years, the human being evolved by being a negative creature, right? You got to think about it. As cavemen and cave women, if we were just happy-go-lucky, if we weren't worried, we were more likely to get killed by shit that sneaks up on us, right? If we weren't constantly on high alert, predicting that something might go wrong, right, we'd get eaten by something else. So literally, we have evolved through hundreds of thousands of years to have a very strong default mode network to keep us safe, because literally when humans were evolving through some pretty tough times, a lot tougher than now, they needed it. They needed to be on constant lookout because their environment was trying to kill them. Right? And so when our default mode network is working, right, we are going to be worrying, we are going to be negative, and we'll constantly be just wandering between the past and the future. We are not in the present moment. And what happens is when this part of our brain is working, our view of ourself is very limited and very fragile. Your default mode network is like an overprotective grandma. It thinks everything is out to get you because it thinks you're very fragile, right? So when we're thinking from this part of our brain, when our default mode network is on and jamming and it is on full effect, we feel very threatened, we feel very unsafe, we feel the need to try to worry and manipulate our environment. We feel we don't feel a deep sense of inner peace, right? We constantly feel like if we're not worried about what's next, if we're not constantly worried about what's going on in our external environment, something bad's going to happen, right? So your ego, that self-protective identity, literally lives in the neural patterning of your default mode network. And so we can agree, you are not your most effective when your main concern is survival, right? You're most effective when you're creative and present and powerful, right? You are not able to build a powerful new future in your life and in your business when you're constantly referring to the past. especially the bad things that happened in the past, right? When you're predicting future threats, how will you be predicting moments of future greatness? When you're reacting, when you have a negative bias, just ask yourself, how do you show up? How do you take action? How consistent are you? Do you procrastinate? Do you overthink? How kind are you to yourself and the people around you when you are in this state of mind, right? It's not the best version of who you are by any means, for no human being, right? And so it's important to understand why meditation is so important, and you'll see this in a second, is because it directly impacts your default mode network. Because again, the more time we spend in that place, the more limited we will become. We will literally limit ourselves to past experiences, past limitations. It's hard to outgrow yourself in your default mode network because you have such a small conception of yourself. Okay? So we have our default mode network, and then we have our TPN. We have our task positive network. And our task positive network is a series of circuits in the brain, just like the default mode network. You got your lateral prefrontal cortex, you got your insula, you got your parietal cortex, you got a few things in your brain connecting and coming online, right? And literally your task positive network, it's the get shit done network. It's that flow state level of brain that you're much more effective, you're much more focused, you're not constantly living in your imperfect memory of the past and some made up scary future. You're in the moment. You are here, you are now. You're not obsessed with the past and future, so you're more calm and you're more coherent, right? And so when this circuitry in your neural pathway is on and it is rocking, you're able to focus on one thing and get it done. You're able to bring your full presence and your full gifts to the accomplishment of something, right? It doesn't matter if that is a work task. It doesn't matter if it's closing a deal. It doesn't matter if it's having a powerful conversation with a loved one, right? Like when we're our default mode network, we are not there. When we are on our task positive network, we can actually give truth and space and love to the people around us. We can give love and impactful guidance to our clients. We can truly guide the energy of a sales conversation and close more deals when we are in this task positive network. The default mode network is not going to help you there, right? So when we are in this brain state, when we have this circuitry turned on, we get more done, we're more consistent, we procrastinate less, we take action more. And then what happens? The needle moves forward. We make more money. We help more people. We keep more obligations. We keep more commitments to ourselves, which means we start to build more confidence. We're kinder and more present to the people around us. We have better relationships. We treat our body better because we're not acting reactively. We're acting with intention. So we're not eating random shit and scrolling through social media. We're here. We're present, right? So getting the task positive network online is very, very important. And one of the reasons why it is very, very important is right here. It is the gateway to the alpha brain. It is the gateway to alpha brain waves. So your brain has different brain waves, and based on which brain waves your brain is in determines how it functions. So when you're in the default mode network, you're in this high incoherent beta brain waves, which I'm not going to get too into it, but it's fast, it's incoherent, it's scattered, and it's not good. When you're in the task positive network, you are in the alpha brainwaves, which is much more smooth. It's much more coherent. Your brain is incoherent with your body. It is in coherence with your heart. It is actually synchronizing with itself, right? Slower, more coherent brainwaves are good for mental health, physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health and professional health, right? And so when we are focused on one thing, we are much more effective and our brainwaves slow down, right? And now here's the deal. Here's why the default mode network is called the default mode network. If left to our own devices, an untrained mind will stay in the default mode network, right? It's called monkey mind. Like if you were never to work on yourself, if you were never to meditate or journal or do any personal development or anything, you would stay in your own default mode network until the day you died, convinced that you were just this limited conception of the self. It's the technology we're given. It's the factory setting, right? But you can upgrade and use your brain to be a more task positive network brain through repetition and practice. It will take work because remember, the default is the default mode network, right? Because again, evolutionarily, that helped us survive. But now it's time to upgrade your software and really become more of a TPN brain, not a DMN brain, right? Default mode network, DMN, TPN, task positive network, right? Now, we can agree when you are more in the task positive network state, you get more done, you help more people, you check more boxes, you move the needle forward, you make more money, you're more consistent, you're more fulfilled because you are keeping your commitments to yourself, right? Great. Now, Harvard did a study with over 250,000 data points, right? I think this was 2 years ago. And they had thousands and thousands of people with this app in their phone, and it tracked where their mind was. It tracked what made them happy and unhappy. And they found that the biggest contributor in personal happiness or unhappiness, they found that the determining factor in happiness was not money. It was not fitness or physical ability. It was not age. Literally, the main determiner of happiness was how much time someone spent in the default mode network, how much time someone spent in that mind-wandering state of worrying about the future, replaying the past, thinking about all the things that could go wrong. That was literally the only determiner of happiness. And they've done thousands of studies on human happiness and have found that once all your needs are met, once your basic human needs are met, there's no real correlation between lasting happiness and money or achievement even, right? Like truly, how present you can be will determine how deeply peaceful and happy your life will be. Not only happiness, but effectiveness. We all want to be more effective human beings. We all want to be better at what we do. We all want to help more people. We all want to maximize our potential. So happiness and effectiveness is inversely correlated, with the time we spend in the default mode network. So the more time we're in the default mode network, again, thinking we're this fragile survival-based being, you will be unhappy and you will be less effective, right? So where does meditation come into play, right? Where does meditation come into play, and what does meditation do? Now, the best part about meditation is especially strategically designed meditations. Here at Wake Up Wealthy, we have very strategically designed meditations that help utilize the task positive network to use the alpha brain bridge to get into deep states of powerful meditation that change the brain. This is why meditation matters, because meditation will not only power down these parts of the brain. Meditation will not only power down the default mode network, but it will bring on the task positive network. And when used in the right way, right? Like this, there has to be a method and a strategy to this meditation, which I'll actually walk you through one after this training, right? Right? You can actually use the task positive network to get into a meditative state, and then use the alpha bridge, use the alpha brain waves to get into even deeper, more insightful, more restorative levels of meditation, right? And the reason why that's important is because what you do repeatedly becomes automatic. What you do repeatedly reshapes your brain. Doesn't matter if it serves you or doesn't serve you, right? You can drink booze every day and black out. That will shape your brain. You can meditate, wake up on time, and eat good food. That will reshape your brain, right? You can reshape your brain positively or negatively at any point in your life. It's called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity. It's your brain's ability to restructure and rewire itself at any point in time, right? So what you do repeatedly becomes automatic because it reshapes your brain. So let's look at someone who stays in their default mode network all the time, who never ever leaves their default mode network. Here's what happens, right? So if you're in your default mode network over and over and over again, zoom in on it, right? Remember, it is that reactive survival-based part of your brain that is limited by your past, by your conditioned past, right? So if you are constantly living in your default mode network, you are going to worry. You are going to have stress and anxiety. And the worst part is, you will be stuck in your personal story because all of your personal experiences, especially the negative ones, live in the default mode network, right? So here's the thing. Think about thinking for a second. If you are always thinking as your past conditioned self, how can you ever get bigger than where you've been, right? Think about this example. Say you grew up with a friend and you're from a very small town, right? And the friend you grew up with has never left your town. He's only eaten at the restaurants in your town. He's only gone to the parks in your town. He literally has never gone to another state, another country, another city, nothing, right? Would you go to that person and ask how to travel to a different country? Would you consult that person when you were thinking about planning a cross-country trip? The answer is no. Why would you not consult that person? Because they don't have the knowledge. They don't have the framework to guide you. They've never been there. They've never experienced anything outside their own small experience, right? When you live as only your default mode network, you limit yourself to your past experiences. And here's the thing. There's a huge universe out there filled with insight, opportunity, power, growth, transformation, peace, happiness, achievement, all out there. But when you limit your conception of yourself in the world to your default mode network, you're literally cutting yourself off from all that is out there, from all the information, from what is possible. So a lot of people, they think about making change, and guess what? Because they never leave their default mode network, they go, well, I never did it in the past, and I know people who haven't done it. I don't think I'm going to do it. It looks too hard. Too much might go wrong. Oh man, what if this goes wrong? And what if I lose this money? And what if this happens? And what if this happens? Right? They stay stuck in this loop, right? It creates this limiting feedback loop because their default mode network, which is negative by default and wants to keep them safe, causes worry. It causes them to have a fearful outlook on the future, and they're stuck in their personal story. They can't outgrow themselves, which means they're unhappy and ineffective, right? And when you look at your life and you're unhappy and ineffective, what do? You feel even more uncomfortable. You feel even more threatened. So you use your default mode network even more. And so there are literally people, and they've actually done studies that lead to Alzheimer's. People that have only been in a very small section of their default mode network over and over and over again have just fatigued their neural pathways so much because they only use so little, and it causes early Alzheimer's. So literally, if you don't do anything to overpower your default mode network, not only will you limit your achievement and your effectiveness and your happiness and how big you can grow your life and your business, but you're just going to be unhappy and you're going to live a small, limited life. You don't deserve that, right? Now, here's what's cool. You can obviously, because of neuroplasticity, because your brain can change based on how you choose to use it in this moment, not next, not past, but this moment, your brain can change based on how you use it. This is why meditation is so important, right? So when I say meditation, what do you think? Right? Because a lot of us, we think of like people sitting like this for hours and hours and hours, and it's this mystical thing, or it's this religious thing, or it's this yoga thing. It's not. It is literally it is the purposeful utilization of your attention. It is the mixture of using your intention and your attention to activate bigger parts of your brain. That's what it is. And you'll see why this leads to physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health. You'll see why this leads to healing, regulation, integration, and growth in all areas, right? So the TPN, right? The task positive network. When the task positive network is on, remember, not only are you more in the moment, not only are you in coherence, right? You're like these parts of your brain are in coherence. You're more focused. You're more effective. You're more present. But remember, your brain goes into the alpha brainwave state, right? So there's this. Think of like a gate opens up, right? Or like think of one of those drawbridges that go over a river or something like that, right? Like think about it. The drawbridge comes down. There's finally a pathway into more powerful brain states and more powerful brain utilization periods, right? So when you can actually use your focus, your intention and your attention, right? The alpha gateway opens. Now, when the alpha gateway opens, you can proceed with meditation. Now, what happens in meditation is the parts of your brain associated with the default mode network, they shut off. So you forget about yourself for a little bit. You forget about everything you have to do later in the day, or you forget about all of the things you may have screwed up in the past. You just forget about it for a little bit. And then guess what? The default mode network kicks back on and you start to worry. And then you become aware that you're worrying. And then you come back to the task positive network. You come back to focus. And your brainwaves slow down and you're in the alpha gateway. And then boom, meditation, right? Here's the thing. No one's perfect. I've been meditating for years, and there's days where I sit and I have the most powerful, enlightening, loving meditation sessions that are spiritual and powerful, and I can feel my body growing and my brain healing. There's mornings where I sit down and I focus, and then I worry about what's next. My default mode network kicks on, and then I use my intention and my attention to come back to focusing on something, and then I get into the alpha gateway, and then I lose focus again, and I come back. It's like training a puppy, right? But the payoff is huge, because when you can use the task positive network, which again is simply using your focus, it's using your attention and your intention, it's choosing where to place your focus, right? When you can hold focus long enough, the gateway opens, and now you're in a deep meditative state. The more time you spend in meditation, your brain waves change even more. They go from alpha to theta, right? So they get even more coherent. They become even more powerful. Different parts of your brain's chemistry start to change. Your feel-good hormones come up. Oxytocin and GABA and dopamine, all these like real good feel-good hormones and neurochemicals start to come into our body and our brain. And so what happens is we become inspired, right? We feel good. Our brain feels good. So our brain, our head, our heart, our body come into coherence. This is when you will have moments of clarity. You'll have moments of insight. You'll be able to think. You'll be able to access information and knowledge and ideas and opportunities bigger than your limited self-story, because you're no longer stuck in the default mode network. You literally, it's kind of like having a computer and finally linking it to Wi-Fi. You have access to all this information. You have access to all these opportunities that you don't have access to when you're not plugged into Wi-Fi, right? The default mode network is kind of just the computer sitting on itself with no connection, right? When you can meditate and go through the alpha gateway, which again, I'm going to show you how to do, what happens? You come online. All the different powerful parts of your brain start to synchronize. You start to gain access to powerful information that is stored in the unconscious mind. You start to get growth and insight. And then guess what happens? You take that growth and that insight and you use it. You use it when you're focused on a task. You use it when you're focused on a workout. You use it when you're focused on sharing space and sharing experiences with loved ones. And you grow. You grow. You have access to new information. You create new experiences. Boom. Now your life is growing. Now your business is growing. Now your conception of yourself is growing. You're shattering old limiting beliefs and you're transforming. All because for 15 minutes a day, you chose to, instead of letting your default mode network go crazy, you chose to bring on the TPN, which will slow your brainwaves down to alpha, which will allow you to access really, really powerful meditative states, which again, bring coherence, clarity. You can outgrow your personal story and gain access to new growth and new insight. And then it creates this positive feedback loop. So that's all meditation is. And I'm going to walk you through a meditation, right? And you'll see a bunch of meditations where you'll be like, well, what is this? I'm not a meditator. I've never meditated before. Or, like, what do I just sit with myself and just listen to my thoughts? No. You'll see that the reason why guided meditation is so important is because your attention is guided, right? You will be following a proven sequence, a proven series of events, a proven series of cues, mental cues that will bring your attention and your intention online. So your TPN turns on, your DMN turns off. And then at the right time, your brain will enter that alpha gateway. And then you'll just find that you're entering more and more deeper levels of meditation where, again, your brain is changing, your neurochemistry is changing. Everything's coming in coherence. You're having new levels of clarity. And here's the best part. You outgrow your personal story. You become more than who you've been. You just forget about your past for a little bit. You give your brain and your circuitry a break from who you think you have to be every day. And that gives you access to higher levels of potential. This is where the shit gets amazing and exciting and why I get so worked up about it, right? So if you don't choose to meditate, you are guaranteeing this. You're guaranteeing that your default mode network, your reactive default mode network guides your life for the rest of your life. And it will just make success way harder than it has to be. It'll make growth way harder than it has to be. You'll be far less effective. You'll be far less happy, which means you're going to make less money. You're going to help less people. You're going to, even if you do go have a bunch of achievements, you'll still be unhappy. You'll still feel like something is missing because, again, you feel unsafe because your default mode network is dominating you. So if you want to be more happy, you want to be more effective, it's time to meditate every day. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You will have meditations where literally for 15 minutes or however long you choose to meditate, guided or unguided, your brain will wander, and that's okay. But what you do repeatedly becomes automatic. What you do repeatedly will reshape your brain. So every single day you choose to have that meditation, every day you choose to make that meditation non-negotiable. And again, the one that I'm going to walk you through, the ones that we have here at Wake Up Wealthy, every single one is going to use your task positive network to bridge the alpha gateway to get into deep states of meditation so that you can access new levels of potential, insight, clarity, achievement, opportunity, inspiration, harmony, healing. A lot of beautiful things happen when our default mode network turns off and our deeper self can get on board and we can come fully online. So if you want to experience one of these meditations right now, we'll roll into it. Just keep watching. Put your headphones in and get ready.
Hello, and welcome to this guided meditation. Sit comfortably in an upright position. To the best of your ability, create a straight line from the top of your head down to the bottom of your tailbone, while also remaining relaxed and comfortable. Begin to notice the natural cadence of your body's breaths. Notice how your body effortlessly absorbs your inhales, and notice how easily your body relaxes as it releases an exhale. In a moment, I'm going to tell you to flex every muscle in your body for 3 seconds. And when I say that, flex in your own way all the muscles that are available for you to flex for 3 seconds, and then totally release with an easy sigh of an exhale. Ready? Inhale, hold, and flex. And release with a soothing exhale, allowing all the muscles you just flexed to relax and loosen. We are going to repeat this again. Ready? Inhale, hold, and flex. And now release with a sigh exhale, totally loosening all of the muscles that you just flexed. One final time. Inhale, hold, and flex. And let go with a soothing, audible exhale, softening and loosening all of the muscles that you just flexed. And as your muscles loosen and let go, and you return to a normal breathing pattern, simply notice the sensation of your muscles relaxing. Notice your body returning to a natural rhythm of breathing. And notice how, while you're noticing, you can easily relax your body. Next, turn your left palm upward so that it is facing the ceiling. And with your right index finger, tap 7 times on your middle finger of your left hand. And when you have done that, do the same thing by turning your right palm towards the ceiling, and with your left index finger, tap gently 7 times on your right middle finger. Good. And when that is complete, rest both of your hands palms up facing the ceiling. And as you continue to breathe and relax in a normal rate, simply notice the sensation of the air in the room brushing against your upward turned palms. Remember, if at any point your mind may wander from this guided meditation, simply utilize your breath to return back to the words that I am saying, and this will produce a powerful, relaxing, and enlightening meditation. Place your focus on that point directly between your eyebrows. Rest your inward gaze directly on that point, right between and slightly above your eyebrows. And as you do this, simply relax more into your body, breathing in and out through your heart, the center of your chest. Imagine each breath you inhale comes in through the center of your heart, and each exhale flows out easily from the center of your heart. much space is in your body? Can you picture the volume of space that the inside of your head occupies? Can you imagine the volume of space that the inside of your hands occupy? Can you imagine the area of space that the inside of your feet occupy now? Can you notice the natural rising and falling of your chest or stomach as you breathe? And as you become more aware of the breath you are breathing, change the cadence of your breathing so that you are completing a 6-second inhale followed by a 6-second exhale. And as you continue to breathe, following this cadence of 6 seconds in and 6 relaxing seconds going out, you may notice that you can hold your focus on your breath and its rhythm, while also noticing you can place your awareness right below your belly button. And as you maintain that breathing cadence, you may also notice that you can move your awareness from right below your belly button right into the center of your rib cage as you continue to breathe calmly and deeply. Next, imagine right in front of you, as if looking through a window of light, you see someone or someplace that you absolutely love. And as you envision that person or that place that you absolutely love right in front of you, from the center of your heart, send out love and compassion. Send positive thoughts, positive, appreciative energy of love and appreciation to that person or that place. You don't have to do anything except simply extend good feelings, positive feelings, and loving feelings towards that person or place. And you'll notice, as you allow this process to happen, that the energy you send out also emanates through your own body. So the positive feelings and energy that you're sending to that person or place that you love, you're also bathing your body, your cells, your energy field, and your mind in it as well. As you continue to breathe calmly and deeply, enjoy this process of sending and also self-generating positive emotions of love. Next, envision in front of you yourself. Picture right in front of you on the other side of a window. See yourself in the most ideal way. See your face, your posture. See how you are standing when you are standing in your highest, most powerful way. And now, from the center of your heart, breathe love and compassion directly to yourself, the self you see right across from you. And as you easily and effortlessly send positive feelings, positive thoughts, appreciative energy towards yourself. Notice how in your own body you may also experience heightened feelings, heightened energy, and positive emotions. And as you allow yourself and really permit yourself to send compassion and love to that version of yourself that you see, you may actually notice just how easy it is to feel good simply by the power of presence and choice. And now it's time to cross the bridge into a deeper state, a more powerful state, a more restorative state of being. In front of you, envision a bridge made entirely of light. And in your mind, begin crossing that bridge. Step by step, feel yourself moving across that bridge of light, and each step you take, your body becomes lighter. Each step you take forward across this bridge, you'll notice that you can permit yourself to forget about your name. You can leave it behind. The further you walk on this bridge of light and the more present your mind and body become, you can forget. You can completely leave behind your age. Each step forward, you can easily shed any labels, any worries about the future. Each step you take forward on this bridge of light, your body becomes more alive, and you leave behind your past. You completely permit yourself to leave behind and drop your sense of ego and identity. And as you get to the other side of this bridge, you may notice that you are simply the awareness of this moment. On the other side of this bridge, you may find yourself surrounded by light, by energy, by colors. You may find that as you explore the nature of your own awareness, you feel free. You don't have to do anything except simply explore and experience the awareness of being here, the awareness of being on the other side of this bridge. As you breathe calmly and deeply, with nothing to achieve, nothing to push away, or nothing to grab at, simply root yourself in the joy and the peace of being here now. And in this place of pure presence, in this moment of blissful awareness, take the next few moments to affirm these statements mentally to yourself. I am allowed to feel good, and I am allowed to feel powerful simply by choosing to do so. I am choosing to leave behind the limited parts of myself. I am choosing to let go or heal the pieces of myself that are suffering. I choose to give myself full permission to experience this state of ease and this state of powerful peace at any time throughout the day, any time that I choose. I choose for this day and all the days following, to embody the greatness that is within me, to fully embody my gifts, and to fearlessly use my head, my heart, my mind, and my spirit to experience the fullest version of life in a way that positively impacts me and those that I love. Good. Now place a hand over your stomach and a hand over your heart and take 3 deep, relaxing breaths as you come back into your body, as you come back into the room, as you come back into the moment. And after that 3rd breath, slowly open your eyes and scan the room from left to right, slowly observing your surroundings. And then when you're ready, get up and have an amazing day.